Hello. Hi, friends. Let's see. Doo-doo-doo. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Okay, it is May 29th. The real Warhammer? No guts, no galaxy. That looks about as clickbaity as I can imagine. I don't know who you are. I ain't following you. Get off my YouTubes. Okay, so, oh no. Muted. All right. So, I'm going to pull that down here. Except first, we're going to pull the chat out. Pop out that chat. Okay. Do the thing. There you go. So, good morning. I was in the process. Come on now. Silly little screen. I was in the process of getting all of my Flames of Orion mechs back out. I got to look at the post that Isaac made this morning showing his desk, and it's just like, yeah, we don't all get to keep our stuff out in giant piles. I have to use little containers. And speaking of which, I was thinking about this last night, that there is a container somewhere in here that I'm really not pumped about, because it was absolutely a small... Fuck, is this it? Oh god, this is it. What the fuck? Oh fuck me, this was stupid. This is real dumb. So yeah, in the event that you have seen Isaac's post this morning of his desk, prior to trying to do this like as a form of a living, as a form of a job, I very much kept my desk like in the same kind of manner, utterly covered in the stuff that I'm working in, because that's how I like to work. I like to work in the mess. This is just great because I know where things are in here, and I can sort them in my way. It helps you stay in. I think that's it. If it's kind of like the concept of like, why would you live in a junkyard? And it's like, oh, well, I'm a junk man. Like, I like to make things out of junk. So living in the junkyard, it's just like you're just surrounded by the junk and you just get to think about it all the time. I can understand that now. It's like, why would you live in a junkyard? Now it's like, that's pretty cool. If I like had the ability to build a mech, like solder it myself, not solder, weld. Solder is a lot smaller. There'd be soldering involved. Anywho, I need to shave my face. I can feel it. I don't like it. Waking up, mechs. I want to build in a big pile too, but hey man, you would live in a junkyard. I would live in a junkyard. Hey man, if I live in a junkyard, that's between me and God. And I'm angry about it. That's what I mean by that. If I live in a junkyard, you would shave, wouldn't you? I would shave, wouldn't I? So I started painting on the castle last night. And I'll go ahead and pull that over here just so you can see in the little screen. Now it's gray. Now it's grayish. It's getting there. I'm going to work on that, like, mainly. That's obviously mainly what I'm working on today. But after sending, I sent some pics of my little guys to Steve last night, and then I posted them on Insta. I was thinking, I kind of want to make little mechs still. I'm really enjoying that. It's kind of been my vibe for a hot bit. I think I already showed off all my new stickers on my carrying case. They're all very fun. Choices, Tati. This is one of my favorites. This is Sean. You have outdone yourself. It's just very good. Paint me like one of your Escher girls. That'd be Particulate X. My friend Sean. He is wonderful. If you don't follow him, go follow him. It's great. I need. Man, I'm really. I was thinking about this last night. This bin like came into my dreams, and like I was just like, I was so close to being asleep, and I was just like, what did I do with all that stuff? It's just like that, everything that was on my desk. Like, oh God, this is what I want to make things out of. This is literally the opposite. This is literally the opposite of this. This is the stuff that I don't want to make fucking anything out of. And this is all the stuff that I want to use. So I'm going to put this back over on the shelf. I'm just really glad that I found it. Because I was really worried last night that I was like, what the fuck did I do with that? I didn't just like throw it in like a bag. Because, again, half of the stuff is like, I mean, we're talking like 2 millimeters. Like little knobs and shit that I've shaved off of backpacks. Like, I put this. Also, shout out to Greg with Wire for picking up this Flames of Orion tee for me at Under the Dice Fest. I didn't get to go, so I was really excited because he needed an Under the Dice shirt. I needed a Flames of Orion shirt. It works out. But yeah, man, I got really jazzed up and was going with something. Oh, this guy. This guy right here. Can you work with me? There we go. Yeah. Shout out Greg. Cool guy. Yeah. So I love these bits. There's 2 of them. Those are 2 of my favorite bits. If you want to talk about Death Guard, that's my favorite bit from the Death Guard. Like the entire Death Guard release. That's the bit that like I value the highest. It's that very small crank. That there's so many good spots that could be used on. Like that is some really prime detail. And I feel like it's just clearly like a grab and click kind of thing that like they have when they're designing bits, models in, I'm assuming it's I don't know what they use for design, but designing like STLs like with like digital design, it's very clear like when it's just not the same amount of work. That's what I'm getting at, but I like them because I like to cut them off and use them on other things. They're very good for changing the scale. Like that is something that you would crank with your hand if you were 28 millimeters tall, but if you were 6, that is now the big thing on a door that you rotate. Man, I'm not gonna guess what that is. A wheel lock. Wheel lock. I don't know, but let's just get into it, shall we? I feel like it's really quiet, but I think that's just because I don't have any kitties over here screaming and the HVAC is not on. So, where were we? This guy needs legs, and he needs them now because I'm getting too stoked about this big old mech. That is the one that also, so I know this is going to be everyone's favorite. I'm just calling it. When you guys see this little trash can, you're all going to be like, I love that guy. But so far, this one's the one that I really like. And I'm really pleased with the back. So these they're from a backpack. A Chaos Marine backpack. I don't know, I like those bits in there. I like that they look like sub arms with like cabling holding them together. They're just going to be either manipulating something on the back, like loading like missiles or something in, or honestly, shit, it actually might be to hold up a missile pod. No, because they're not tall enough. That's the other thing is I really want to make sure that these look like they could function the way that I want them to, which makes sense. I was listening to someone talk about realism recently. I think it was on the Hive Scum podcast. I think they had a guest on there, and he was talking about realism in paintings, and I enjoyed that very much. That's just another thing on my mind. I'm just going to say it. Where are you? So this, there it is. These are from defilers. I have 3 defilers because I used to be nasty. I'm still nasty. I'm still a defiler. Actually, they're right here. So, if you're ever like, I don't think this guy really did. I don't think he is, all about that crime life. Baby, I still got one of my very poorly painted defilers. Still, here's a night. I've still got one of my poorly painted Black Legion defilers from fucking 20 years ago. But yeah, I really liked the defiler when it came out. As far as a model, there wasn't really anything like it. It's a shit fucking model. It's one of the worst models that Games Workshop's ever made. From a design standpoint, I don't know. I don't know if they do or if they don't. It's not good. It's not a good model. The legs are terrible. And you had to either pretty much choose if you were going to glue them to like hold them in place. But yeah, I don't know. There is something it's a bad model. It's such a bad model, but there's something that like I love a little bit about seeing this old chonky defiler. And it has somehow managed to escape my hungering gaze. And has all of its parts still, with the exception of it looks like the Havoc launcher. But I don't have any Havoc launcher pieces over here that are clearly... Nope. Just had a flamethrower. It had a heavy flamer. I remember now. I never played any GTs with this one. The other one is currently... Who's in the midst? Who's the bully in Toy Story? Sid. Sid is the bully in Toy Story. This was the beginning. It looks like something he would make. It does. It really does. It looks like something Sid would make. But yeah. Get back in here. I was like, what else did I take out of this box? Nice. Yeah. I had so much shit that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with. But I don't remember what made me pull up the defiler. Probably had to do with the bit. Oh no, it had to do with these. These are the, looks like something human. Yes, so these are the Reaper autocannon. I was showing where I got these bits from. These are the Reaper autocannons. They are going to be our feet for this big stompy boy. I'm thinking there's... Now, do we want him to have reverse legs? No. Maybe? No. I'm going to grab those over there. I need you for scale. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to see how big you are. Oh my goodness. So, now I'm on the hunt for some knees. I think we're going to use the Atlas as our main reference point. Yeah, these are some big old honking knees. There's some big knees that you're going to have. We want to use these little guys, or at least I do. I've been eyeing them for their kneecap abilities. That's going to be great. We're going to have a great time with that. So I need to find the spot that looks like it's going to be these. Yes. Okay. Okay. So a kneecap and a square, and that will put us at a height. That's probably going to need to be expanded a little bit. That's way taller. This might be too big, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's too big. I think we just need to cut it right there, and we'll make it work. Maybe right here. Yeah. Want to get that little circle shape. Yeah. Yes. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Now, you, show me your legs. All of these boys, their legs are too long. Oh no. Well, alrighty. I can get down with that. Let's put that in the middle. And let's cut that bottom chunk off. So we're going to remove right up to here. And then we're going to take this. And we want that part in the back. Like that. So it's going to look similar to that. Pretty much right to where that dot is. We're going to cut up to there. So, yeah, pretty much underneath of this. We want to keep that, but remove the round one. This would have been better if we had done it before, but oh no. And then I broke that piece. You know what they say, though. A rolling stone gathers no algae. Boo, 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 boo. Today, I'm going to be doing a lot of painting on the castle, and I'm pretty excited. I don't have a crentist appointment. That's yesterday. So yesterday I had to go to the crentist, aka the dentist, and that just kind of threw a wrench in the plans. If you're like, oh, I'm going to do this at this time, and then it's just like, well, I don't really know when to schedule my things I'm doing the rest of the day, because I don't know when I'm going to get back from the crentist. But yeah, so went out and I did that. And then on the way home, I picked up paint for the castle, and that's exciting. I got this folk art chalk kind of paint. It's like extremely matte, but it was cheap. It was on clearance, and the cobblestone. The colors and the very matteness of it was something that I was like, I think I'll try that. I'm excited to see how they turn out. I want it. It is going to be extremely like cold tone. Like, I really want it to have the look of you reached into Dark Souls, any Dark Souls game, with the exception of possibly, Dark Souls. I meant to say any FromSoft game, with the exception of possibly Sekiro or Armored Core, just because those don't have the same color palette, but damn near everything else does, which is just cold and brutal, very, very dark. When I say dark, I mean tonally, but visually is what I'm trying to get at. There's a lot of cold. FromSoft uses a lot of cold colors, a lot more cold than warmth. And the only time that they don't, I think, is when they're deliberately trying to use warm colors, like in 3. So Dark Souls 3, because everything has to do with the world smoldering, which, fuck me, I could talk about that all day. That is the pinnacle of storytelling, in my opinion, is the FromSoft company, like, especially Bloodborne. But I don't know, I've never felt like a storyteller respected me as much. What about Kuon? I've never played Kuon. What is Kuon? I know they made a game that was pretty bright and colorful. That was like a VR game. I've not heard of Kuon though. That sounds fun. If it's FromSoft, I'm here for it. But the main thing was it was just the colors, unless Kuon is a place. And like in Orlando, like, I'm trying to say. Also keep in mind that it's a game. So I am basing these concepts, like when I think of Dark Souls, in my head, and actually when I think of FromSoft, and I think of anything that they make. FromSoft's PS2 survival horror game set in Japan's healing period. Fuck me, that sounds awesome. I'll go write that down. Kuon. That sounds awesome. Yeah, that sounds rad as hell. So, yeah, I've not played that one. But that sounds rad. What I was trying to get at was, when I think of FromSoft and I think of Dark Souls and I think of Bloodborne and I think of those things, my brain, the way my brain works is I think of the game and I think of playing the game, but like I don't remember. Oh yeah, I love that. I want to make a cyborg adventure based off of it. I can't stress enough how hard I'm wanting to go into cyborg. I'm so ready. I've just been getting too pumped. The more I work on the castle, the more I'm like, I just wish that my hand would just like split and just all these little manipulators would come out. But yeah, that was a whole nother thing. The Cyberpunk Red 2077 game, or Cyberpunk Red, I know there is a skirmish Cyberpunk game, and I want to look into how like quick hacks and like the hacking things, like hacking works in that. I would like to see how that does, because that's one of my favorite parts of the actual game, was hacking and doing quick hacks and stuff. Shit, there was something I was about to say, but I lost my train of thought real hard. But I'm about to cut this little leggy off. And that's a good bit. I like those 2 little circles on there, but you know what? Time to get cutting. It's like I say, time to get cutting. Beep, 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 beep. So now I'm just sawing this little leggy. I never finished my train of thought. And that's because I don't have my books over here. I think I took them all over there. When I think of FromSoft, when I think of Bloodborne, when I think of Dark Souls, all these games, and I say, oh yeah, their color palette, I'm not thinking about specifically just playing the game. Like the most of like my mind's eye when I think of these games, I think of their concept art, because I adore them. I adore concept art books. I collect them, and I peruse through them a lot to understand design language. The one that I've really been fucking jamming on, I think I left upstairs. I left it upstairs underneath the coffee table. But it is I'm trying to remember the movie work of Sid Mead. It's a big hardback art book of his artwork, and the concept art that he has done. And that's the one I was rocking through yesterday. which is so good because it covers. Sid Mead has just had so much of it. I'm always disappointed when I see a cyberpunk style game that somehow doesn't include mechanics for hacking or tech. Yeah, yeah, man. Like that absolutely is one of the most like pivotal parts of a game for me. And the I think the best way that I've ever handled that, and it's not an original way, but I think the best way that I have ever handled hacking or any kind of tech use was to treat it like a Gage was talking about that in a Hivescum episode, but treating it like a separate kind of game or a separate encounter. Like there's a part in one of the Ravener books that is, which man, I fucking love Ravener. There's a part in one of the Ravener books, I think it's the first one, where, and it's not even just a part, there's multiple parts. There's multiple parts in all of the Ravener books where it kind of talks about how Ravener perceives the world. Which, spoiler alerts for any of you who have not read this, Ravener, you have to sit down and play a game of Netrunner every time they hack something. Yeah, that's rad. That's so good. I'm down with that. And yeah, I've not even checked out Netrunner, but I remember him talking about that. But there is a part where Ravener is doing this thing in the city, and he is constantly like sending out his psychic form. Like he is a psyker that is so fucking powerful that he's just like sending out, he's like astral projecting himself, and he's sending himself out like looking over the city and just like scanning the minds of every person that lives in the city trying to find people. And there is another person that is hunting for him, and they are also astral projecting. And it's just the way that Abnett like shows it is like they're almost like these spectral forms, like they've knit themselves in this like ethereal kind of like shape, like they take the form of, you know, like, oh, a hawk or whatever. And it's just like, I imagine a very like almost something that is constantly fluctuating, like that it doesn't look stable. It looks very digital. I imagine a digital spectral ghost kind of form. Hell yeah, Netrunner Null Signal is amazing. I need to check that out. But that is the closest thing that I've done as far as playing in that space was while one of our characters was hacking something, I had him pretty much be in combat with the system. like everyone else is like pretty much trying to protect him while he is in this whole other side quest. And it's just like, yeah, this is what the world is like to you once you like log in or jack into this. And pretty much everyone else has to just like keep his body safe, which I've always loved that. That's one of the things that I really found really good about Cyberpunk 2077 was I love the, oh yeah, let me hack in there, and it's just like clink, just completely just like their body just goes completely limp, and it's just like, oh shit, hold on, let me carry this guy around. Like there's just something really good about that. It does, and I have that. Fuck yeah, I just remember that. Thank you, Possum. Mothership does have a hacking pamphlet. I need to open up. I love Mothership, and I've acquired many modules. I have a case that I acquired that looks quite utilitarian that I'm trying to get set up to be my Mothership case. It looks like something that you would wheel into the room and be like, the company would like to have a conversation with you, and then like you would open it, and then like a little robot would climb out, and it would kind of like be a polygraph. I haven't played Netrunner, but I love Arkham Horror LCG, so I want to check it out. Arkham Horror LCG. It's a card game? I don't know what the L in LCG means. Unless it's a T. But Arkham Horror. I also enjoy Arkham Horror. I own Arkham Horror, the board game, but I have not played it. And I also have the expansion for the yellow side because Haster's like my favorite. Love a good Haster. Love a good King in Yellow. Did I already cut? I did. But yeah, so concept art. Man, I'm gonna need to cut that. Like with something actually that can cut. Beep boop boop. Boo doo doo. That's Mario. Get out of my head, Mario. So we're just doing a little bit of snipping, a little snapping, a little tipping, a little tapping. We go tit for tat. I'm gonna have to cut that with like a saw. And until then, I'm gonna poke my finger with it every time I touch it. It's gonna feel bad. I'm not gonna like it. Hey, you know what? Actually, that's really stupid. Living card game. Pfft, man, I would have never got that. Even though I think that is what I did think initially. Was it's not living, right? That'd be crazy. Cards aren't alive. Or are they? Yeah, we're gonna cut that. It's really on there. Tight. No. So he needs some good little stomping feet. So you want to have good little stomping feet, huh? Yeah. And yes, somewhere right about there. On a Null Signal keeps the old Netrunner franchise going after Fantasy Flight lost the license. That's legit. Dude, Fantasy Flight makes such good shit. I never played X-Wing. This is now an X-Wing stream. An X-Wing channel. All I do is talk about X-Wing. And how I never played it, but I wish that I had. But I know that was a really dope, well planned out game. Very highly regarded. And based on my opinions of Fantasy Flight and how they handled other people's like IPs, I would assume they do a really good job with X-Wing. That could have been bad. So I had cut around there. That wasn't just me like raw dogging with this knife. I had cut around there already, so I knew it was going to break in a specific angle. And get our little stance back because we kind of want him to be not standing straight, but kind of like a little cocked off to the side. Also, speaking of the King in Yellow, watched the Quinn's Quest video on Delta Green and the Adventure Impossible landscapes. That shit looks cash money. Huh. Well, I will have to look into that. Impossible landscapes. What is Delta Green? Is it people? Soylent Green is. Soylent Green is peoples. We am space people. I think that's Tim and Eric. My brain is just full bore. Full bore working now, huh? Now we're really starting to wake up. Oh yeah, that's too far. Like that. We want it like that. Yeah. Good little step. Whap. Whap. And I kind of like the body being just a little slightly angled back. I'm trying to get that slight Armored Core look where like they're it's not even an Armored Core look. Yeah, I guess it is. That's absolutely, I think, of Armored Core, but I'm sure that it has origins in other earlier. It's like Call of Cthulhu, but X-Files. That's dope. Yeah, I have that Delta Green book from a Humble Bundle deal. Can't wait to read it now. Man, I have too many books I need to read through. But you now, knees, needing a lot now. we watched the Pee Wee Herman documentary. I would recommend that if you're looking for some feels. Yeah, I'm really liking this guy. This guy really needs to be the one that's done first, because I'm really vibing. This big old clunky mech. Yeah. Ka-conk, ka-conk. Stomp, stomp, stomp. So, Call of Cthulhu, but X-Files. I don't know if I've ever watched an episode of the X-Files. I'm sorry. Man, I really want to use these bits, but I'm just like, they just seem like they might be too big, Eli. I don't know. Might be too big. Kind of struggling with the whole kneecap thing. I think your kneecap might be too big. Let's see. I'm thinking it is. It really is. That is just a really... No, it's seriously, it's like twice as big. No, I like it. But I think it's just too big. It's just too big to use there. However, it would be very good for a... like the part that goes in the middle. Like an axial join. This area. So... here's this boy. There's that one. So, kneecaps. We can make this work. Well, now I kind of wish I hadn't cut that off, but that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm thinking, yeah, the bottom part. Bottom part going up to the middle, right about there-ish. That looks good. So probably gonna cut here. Maybe to that. That's what I'm thinking. Unless... no. No. Okay. Yep. Just gonna do a little bit of sawing. Sawing hard or hardly sawing. Okay, so that one now has two little cracks in the blade. I'm going to stop using that side of the blade. And then I'm probably going to replace this blade as soon as this one breaks on the side, even a little bit. Just because I don't want that to break and maybe, you know, go anywhere. Now, don't go nowhere. Like into my face. Okay. Now, if you're wondering why am I sometimes cutting and then just sometimes just snipping, I just received a Renault 15. Yes, that's awesome. I love both of those, but the Renault is my real favorite. The baby tank. That was really my jam in Battlefield 1, was just getting in the baby tank and then going into the cities, like, and going into like little side streets, because like nobody would expect you to drive a little baby tank down these places. So like people would turn the corner and then all of a sudden just baby tank would just come down the hall, like a little back alley. And it also had like a fucking howitzer. So, and then a flamethrower, if I remember correctly. Baby tank. And of course it had a big picture of my emblem, which I made in, I want to say paint, but it was a cat. It was a cat with one small eye and one really big eye and big mouth and teeth and ears. I love how the driver compartment opens up in the front like a small mech suit. Yes. No, the Renault is one of the coolest, like, I love that tank. It's the very first modern tank. It's the first tank that had a rotating cupola, which I do believe is what designates like it's where the line pretty much is separated between like modern and like World War II kind of like tanks, or World War I, I guess. I don't know. That's just a thing. There's like, oh, the first modern day, the first one to feature a rotating cupola, which is a feature found in every modern day tank. But the very first one, the very first tank that had it was the Renault, which was a small two-man French tank. They're very, very silly. Wait a minute. No, wait. Yes. No. Yes. 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 We're doing it. Oh no. Yep. And he's gonna be stomping. Yeah. We're getting there. It's getting there. Not yet. Let's go a little further down. That needs to come off. And then we cut that down. Cut this down. Man, you can't see shit I'm doing. There we go. Alrighty. I've not been looking up at my camera, but I've been looking at the camera. It's 7:23. Man, time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. I've almost got some legs done. Yeah. We're probably going to need to make that just a little bit smaller anyway. Yep, that's coming off. Let's cut those two little circle things off. They're off. Now these. And that cut pretty solid, because now we can still use those in the event that we need to. And if you're thinking, well, when would you use those? I don't know. Maybe in the next little bit. We're like, oh, wish I hadn't cut off that much plastic. Gotta put some back, because that happens a lot. And one of the things is I definitely could like mush them together, kind of fill in spots with some grit and whatnot, but I don't want to do that as much as possible. Kind of want to. This is getting there. We're getting there. No, not backwards. That would be too silly, I think. Right? That's kind of. Is that badass? No, I think forwards. I think from the front. Yeah, I think from the front. That could be cool though. Like that. Or like this. It's like that. Yeah, it's definitely like that. Okay. And is that going to put us at the height that we're thinking it will? Yep. Right around there. Okay. And then we're going to need some big old feet. He's got them big feet. Hey, Fry, it's me. Big face. Put stuff on backwards. It's cool. That is true. You got me there, Possum. It is pretty cool to put stuff on backwards. Alright, we cut that off. Now we're going to cut these off. That way it stays kind of even looking. Yeah. Like the feet on the crochet backwards as fuck. And that's the coolest thing ever put to Grace Travels. That is true. That is true. Yeah. That is pretty good. That is a very good visual. Clunk, clunk. Big old clonking feet. I feel like that's going to increase the height. No, actually it won't. At least I don't think it will. So I'll change things. So we need them to go from being like there to there. I mean, honestly, we know we're probably just going to use a bolter. But maybe we aren't. Come and knock on my door. I've been waiting for you. No, couldn't be. That's just crazy. That one would not look good. That tube. I think we're probably looking at I'm gonna be real. I might just cut some plastic and stick it in there so I can get the shape. Oh boy. Yeah, now that I'm looking at that, is gonna be fucking sick. Like the backwards legs there. That looks pretty dope. Comes down, back up. Yeah, okay, shit. Nope, just like that. And then, so, okay, well, we might actually get to use these big goofy things. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm kind of down. That works out really well. And I'm thinking, yeah, no, I think we're going to go with that. Does this, how do you click down here? So this one, where are these two? There you are. Okay. So you need to be seen from that angle. Yeah, okay. Machine and Krieger stuff looks amazing. Yeah, it seriously does. I love Machine and Krieger. Such dope looking stuff. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's how we were going to handle. I think it's going to go like that. Kind of turned. But we need to make sure that's kind of covered. I'll go back. I'll touch this, which will touch that. Yeah, we're going to have a great time. I just want everybody to have a great time and be safe. Okay. Down here. Yep, okay. I'm all up in that Machine and Krieger lore now. Machine and Krieger. I like the Machine and Krieger. It's some really good aesthetics. And I think that has a massive influence on Calamity. I think there's a lot of their stuff, the Machine and Krieger stuff, in the Abacan books, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm getting pretty stoked about this. Don't tell nobody, though. Don't tell nobody. So, this guy, it's just like that. And then you glue them just like this. Nope, that's not the same one. This guy? that one? Yes? No? No. This one? Yes. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. No. Okay. I'm getting stoked about this. These big old chonky backwards legs. Yeah. This is gonna be pretty rad. Okay. You all were right. Backwards legs was what it needed. Oh fuck, this is gonna be so good. Yeah, I'm so here for this right now. This mech is awesome. Okay. It's about like that maybe. How tall is he gonna be though? That's the thing. I'm afraid it's just gonna be too tall. I mean, it's a little tall, but it's also a lot of rad. Little tall, a lot of rad. I feel like it's just getting too tall. But it is getting really, really, really rad. What kind of big old feet is he gonna have? Probably stompy. Probably something real stompy, right? Yeah, probably. Okay, so maybe we pull that in just a little bit. Yep. Like that. Weep, weep, weep. Bop, bop, baloo, bop. That was a little bit of Elvis followed by a scream, yes. I feel like that would be a key part of Pain Pain. Like the Rain Rain app, but it just scares you in the middle of the night. Just the middle of the night, just really loud, really aggressive Elvis. Yeah, we're liking that, I'm thinking. It's a little big, but I'm thinking I can make that work. Yeah, no, this is getting rad. I'm really pleased with this so far. Yeah, okay, that's gonna be fucking sick. Yep. Alright, guys, you were right. You were right. I was wrong. I should have gone with the goofy legs. Because that's gonna be so sick. Beep, 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 beep. That noise. Kind of something like that, I'm guessing. Now, hold on. Oh, no. Hi, baby.
Hey, baby.
What time is it? 7:35. Is there a storm a brewing?
You telling me? I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Okay. No rain.
Mm-mm. I think tonight.
Ah. Making little leggies.
Making like
Mm-hmm. Making little leggies. And then I'm going to make some coffee, and then it's going to be castle time. But until then, it's just leggy time. Don't you tell nobody. It's just leggy time. Don't tell nobody. If you do,
What are you gonna do?
I'll tickle you. You won't see it coming. Love you.
No.
No one wants to get tickled right before they go to sleep. Or while they're asleep. I know I don't. I don't tickle my wife. Ever. All jokes aside, we do have a pretty strict no tickling policy in my house. It's kind of been a pre-wife thing. That's just, I don't like people tickling me. Don't tickle me. Seriously though, reverse legs are a perversion. Birds don't have reverse legs. They just have long feet. For a reminder, the Timberwolf is not the biggest mech out there. Yeah. So, is the Atlas not? I thought that the Atlas was the largest. Or the Prometheus. Or whatever this guy is. I thought that that was the largest. The Mad Cat. I know the Mad Cat's not. I love the Mad Cat, though. Or the Timberwolf. If you dirty. If you dirty. I'm really liking that. Weep, weep, weep. Kirkling, kirkling. Lots of big stomps. It's going to be real good. It's going to be real good. I'm trying to think of how that kneecap would meet on the other side. I'm thinking there, yeah. Right there. So then when it rotates... Yeah, so it would be on the top. Yeah, it would be where it is. It would be where it is. But there are, in fact, bigger. Atlas is up there for sure. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that either. So I don't need to be like, oh man, I'm making it too big. I should just be like, as long as it can fit on... Which, that is one thing I gotta say. That I really like that this guy is on the same base as this guy. And, like, neither of them really fit. Like, as far as, like, the leg span, like, they're all, like, just on the verge of, like, going off the base. No matter if they're this size or that size. And I really like that. I'm just kicking stuff all under my table today. Oh, no. Well, everybody, I think it is about time for me to say so long. Man, I'm really liking this though. I'll post, I'll put some pictures in the Discord for sure. Keeping up with where I glue that guy. Man, I love these big old nasty chicken legs. Okay, yeah, no, you're right, guys. This is so fucking, that's gonna be so fucking sick. I love backward legs. Why? Why won't you do the thing I want you to do? Oh no! My legs just fall backwards. That's the trick that I've been. But they're in fact bigger. The biggest ones are multiple axes big. What? Wait, there's bases for BattleTech that take up multiple bases? That's crazy. Again, I only bought those boxes and I just opened them. I didn't like, I bought those boxes and I got out these mechs and I said, here they are. Let's mech stuff. I'm really, really liking this guy, and I'm really liking the backwards legs. That is an absolute, yeah, very good call, guys, on that one. I would have been very wrong to not go with that. I'm happy with that. I think this is probably where I'm going to draw the line, though. I need to go make some coffee. But hopefully all that was not too just blah, 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 in your face crazy all the time. And was at least entertaining. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And I hope you all have a good day. And I hope, yeah, have a good day. Have a good day. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you spending this time with me. Hopefully your hobby endeavors are productive. I'm going to try to put these legs on, and then I'm gonna paint the rest of that casual today, I think. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, this is pretty. Thank you. Bye.